Are you struggling to sell your digital products on social media? Well, I'm going to share some costly mistakes that will save you time and help you grow your business faster. I grew my company using social media as my primary marketing tool, and I've been able to help thousands of business owners do the same. But that doesn't mean that social media doesn't come without its own frustrations. So I'm going to break down some of the mistakes that I've made and some of the most common mistakes that I see our clients make as well. Now, when it comes to selling digital products, using social media is important. Now, digital products that you're selling over the internet, that can mean a template, a download, a course, can mean an online coaching program, a group coaching program, an online membership, any of those digital products that you sell online, well, it makes sense to have a system to use digital marketing to sell a digital product. You're probably more familiar with traditional marketing. That means relationship building, word of mouth. If that's how you've been able to acquire clients in the past, that's not the best way to sell digital products. Now, you might be able to sell a few, right? Let's say that you're doing online coaching, and you might be able to sell online coaching from in-person connections and referrals, but probably not to get the results that you want. In order for you to really scale your marketing efforts, reach more people, and measure your inputs, you're going to want to leverage online marketing. Now, today I'm going to specifically talk about social media. I can talk about other modalities in a future video, but social media is free. And social media is how you build your email list. Social media is an opportunity for you to build your brand and connect with people, because let's face it, that's where your ideal clients are hanging out. If they're not on TikTok, then they're on Instagram or Facebook or maybe LinkedIn. So it's in your best interest to use any one of those platforms and develop a strategy and be consistent so that you have a better chance of selling your digital product, whether that be directly through your social media platform, or if you're building your email list and then you have your email list set up to sell through nurture sequences. The biggest mistake that I see business owners are making when trying to sell digital products is not defining their target audience. Specifically, not defining your target audience before creating your digital product. Now, I know you're probably familiar with traditional marketing efforts. You can use referrals. You can leverage word of mouth and relationships to grow your business. Maybe you have a few happy clients that recommended you to a few of their friends. And that's great. And that can happen using social media, but more often than not, you're going to need to have a strong marketing message that will attract more people so you don't solely depend on word of mouth and referrals, which, let's face it, you can't measure word of mouth and referrals anyway. So that's why it's so important for you to leverage digital marketing and social media marketing. Any good social media marketing plan starts with clearly defining your ideal client. Now, if you say to me, oh, I help brides, right? That's good, that's specific, but you want to get really clear on the pains and frustrations that your target market experiences. Now, ideally, you don't just have a target market like brides, but you have a specific ideal client. That means the type of person within brides. So I got eloped. So my wedding wasn't the same. I didn't have a huge budget, and I decided not to have a huge luxury wedding where my, how I would have pursued planning for that wedding and my budget would have been a lot different than what my husband and I did, which was basically invest in a photographer and go to Maui for an amazing exclusive experience where the guest list was zero. It was just me and him. So if you catch my drift, what I'm saying is that if you're sticking with me here in the wedding space, if you're trying to work with brides and help them, you have to define the type of bride that you're working with, because the pains and the frustrations of a bride who wants to elope are not the same as the pains and frustrations of a bride who has these, a huge family and these expectations and cultural norms or whatever, and then these family traditions to carry on, let's say, a 3-day wedding. So get really clear with who are you serving and what are the pains and frustrations that that person has. And if you know that and you're really clear before you create your digital product, you're going to have a better chance that your digital product will be effective. The biggest mistake by far that I see business owners make is that they fall in love with their idea. They romanticize the idea of what they want to create their product about before knowing if people want that. So you might want to spend all your time and effort validating your idea, talking to people, and as a business owner, you have to know those pain points. Now, maybe you got away with not being so accurate on the pain points for referral marketing, word of mouth and relationships, but when it comes to social media marketing, to create an effective strategy, you have to get clear on the pain points. Meaning, what are the desires and the dreams and the fears? Ultimately, what is the biggest pain point that the particular bride, for example, is struggling with, so that you can solve that with whatever it is you're selling, and for sure the marketing, so that she knows you exist. Another mistake selling digital products using social media is not providing enough value. Now, oftentimes I hear business owners tell me, I don't want to give that away. That's my best secret. And I understand that. You're worried about what should be paid and what should be free content. And where that is an important topic, overall, no matter how much information you give away for free, people aren't going to apply it. That's just the way it works. People are going to need more than information. They're going to need support and accountability to execute on their goals. So when in doubt, just share whatever you can to be of value. I'm sure there are some guidelines that you can explain less of the how-to and explain more about what it is you're talking about and why it's important, and save the how-to for when people pay for your product or service. But in general, without getting nitty-gritty, I say just share what you can share that will help somebody and provide value. Now, the best way to do this, and if you're an introvert, this might be challenging for you, the best way to do this is to conduct market research. Now, I know that's a really formal word, and maybe you hadn't thought about it so literally in your, let's say, brick and mortar business, in a traditional business or through traditional marketing, but you're going to want to spend some time looking into your business and finding out what is it that people are talking about? What are they struggling with? Let's go back to the brides. If you're helping brides, I don't know, let's say you're a wedding photographer, and you want to know what a particular bride who has a particular budget, what is she investing in? What type of photography is she looking for? And what are her characteristics? So you want to get really clear with that type of person. And in order to do that, you're going to need to talk to brides. Or if you can't directly talk to them, which you should, you're going to talk to people that work with them. So you're going to talk to other people in the wedding industry that work with similar types of brides. So you should be aiming for 7 to 10 people that you're talking to every week with your market research. Now, some of your market research can be looking up statistics. For example, how many brides get married each year. You can even get some data about how many weddings, how many venues there are in your location, how many people get married at those venues per year, per quarter. So you can look up some of that stuff that's public, and that's good. But try not to lean on that, because that data is helpful for perspective, but what's really important is having conversations. Now, I have a tracking tool. You can create your own on Excel or however you like to tabulate information, but you can write down when you talk to people and what type of person this is. Hopefully you're finding people closely aligned to your ideal client, and then you want to tabulate the common pains and frustrations that the people, let's say brides, are experiencing. So if you talk to 7 to 10 people a week and you're getting more clear about who that type of person is, assuming they're more aligned with who you're trying to serve, assuming that you're not an elopement photographer, but you actually are wanting to work with someone who has a larger budget, you want to find those people and talk to them and get really clear with the words they're using to explain their frustrations, with the language and the stories they're telling you about their insecurities. And then you want to lean in on that and solve problems through what it is that you're selling, and also through your marketing efforts. So the key to building a valuable brand where you're really helping impact your ideal client and you're really leading to more sales would be talking to people so that you know what people want and you can deliver that value based on what they've told you they need. The easiest way to do this would be use back words and language that people are using when they're explaining their problems. Now, I have a lot more tips, and I can break down how to properly create a digital product after you validated that your idea is in fact what people want. I can even talk about pre-selling. So comment below and let me know what type of video you want next to inspire you to make sales online and grow your business, and specifically through using social media marketing. I want you to watch this next video on screen, and if you're interested in learning how to use Instagram marketing for the first 30 days, I want you to grab my course in the description box. I also have a free guide in the description box that shows you what headings to use to attract attention from your ideal client so you can start getting people who are interested in your products and services faster.